Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we have some very exciting news. Sonja has improved the previous best endless team for NECRODRAKON from we have Himmel's replay. He got an 85 billion score with the previous best s+harak team. With the Sonja he has upgraded that score to almost 89 billion, like around about a 4 billion damage boost, showing you that at least along with s+harak, Sonja is one of the best buffers you can have for endless dream realm bosses. Here's the formation. It has been come up with and cooked up with by Dragon himself. So Resonating Spell and s+harak in the back going to be buffed up by the Sonja. Sonja is going to be the rearmost ally on your team to survive for as long as possible, because the rearmost on your team will be devoured with the lowest priority by s+harak. She is also going to be buffing up your main Fresto, who will be the second most rearmost on your team. And so he will be one of the final heroes devoured and can take advantage of the buffs of Sonja onto him. You have Mikola to provide attack buff to your team from the Honor Arena control. Illusion Fresto right up in the front to take the first devour from s+harak, powering him up, and also going to be resummoned with the plus 15 exclusive equipment Fresto. Kruger is here, another great target to be devoured because he provides the physical defense shred debuff to increase both s+harak and Sonja's damage, because Sonja is a physical damage dealer and she doesn't have any true damage. She doesn't have any HP per second damage, so this debuff really helps her damage. And the best charms for Sonja are going to be the arcane charms. These give her 21% attack as well as 5 skill power. The second best option are insight charms because they give her 36% health and 5 skill power. Basically, the skill power is going to increase the amount of her attack buff as much as possible, and the attack is going to increase her damage output. So for Dream Realm, you want to have arcane. They're definitely the best, but for PvP, Insight might be better to allow her to survive for longer. And s+harak's ultimate power, his ultimate has two portions of it. One is the HP per second damage, which is definitely far and beyond the highest damage contributor. But he also has insane regular attack multipliers, which are going to benefit from this physical defense debuff of Kruger. So Kruger is a really good option in s+harak teams because he's also a hero you can put in the front line, target for s+harak to devour for his stacks. And after the first few seconds of the battle, Kruger has maxed out his debuffs. He doesn't need to be there anymore. So that is a good thing. First devour goes off onto the Fresto Illusion. As you can tell here, Mikola haste buff is going to be provided to both Fresto and his Illusion, and also s+harak as well, which is really good for their damage output. The reason Sonja also deals decent damage in this fight is because she has mobility. When she casts her ultimate, she does a dash attack, and s+harak, of course, Tidal Assault or Devour, those are his movement effects, and they're going to dispel the attack debuff onto themselves, allowing their damage output to be as high as possible. The other heroes here, Fresto, for example, they're stationary, and so their damage, they're going to be attack reduced. As you can see here, they have the attack debuff, so their damage is just not going to be as high as it possibly can, but there's nothing you can do about it for this boss. So, and again, this positioning is really perfect because look at this. Now another Devour goes off on the Illusion, allowing the main Fresto, who has the buffs from the Crimson Covenant. Look at it right now. All of them have basically max stacks of their buffs right now, and they're able to survive for as long as possible. Now, there is some weird interaction. Okay, so Fresto just got devoured or killed, but you still see this rose underneath the heroes s+harak and Sonja, which would, basically imply that they still have the effects of the buff. Even now, Sonja being dead, s+harak is still having them. So that is kind of confusing, but anyway, it's gonna work. 88.5 billion damage. Really high score, and when we compare it, now we will compare it to the previous best team. For example, if you don't have Sonja, then this is the team that people would be running. Main Fresto in front of s+harak and Illusion in front of the main Fresto, Mikola, Rainier going to position swap the Lily May, and Resonating Spell on the s+harak. This is the team formation, which was the best last week and still considered to be the best this week if you don't have Sonja. But looking at this, you're going to see that the Sonja team is a huge upgrade for this team. Almost 4 billion is a really big amount. And so it is going to prove also that Sonja has some great Dream Realm uses, and this is only the first boss we have been able to test her in. Okay, don't tell me there's another best from... Okay, this is a plunder request, because there's been a lot of testing that has gone on since reset with Sonja and with non-Sonja teams. Unfortunately, if you don't have Harak, it doesn't seem like Sonja is going to be a good option. Because really the advantage of Sonja in the team is to just ramp up Harak as much as possible, because he's just such a hard-hitting, crazy damage dealer. But for your other teams, your major damage source would be Lily May, for example, and just buffing her up with the Sonja buff, it is not really enough. And like, for example, the better heroes you could be running instead of that. But we will show you the best teams to run if you don't have Harak and Sonja. Okay. So we can watch this in 3x speed, because this was the previous best team, and it still is really good, really solid, easily able to get over 80 billion damage, which is so far above the other next best option. For example, for me, I'm only able to hit 67 billion today with the best no Harak team, and so without Harak you cannot at all compete for the top ranks, but hopefully you can still compete for like top 10 or top 20. Okay, now taking a look at the overall best team, if you don't have Harak, this is going to be the best team. It managed to get 67 billion damage for me. You have the Ludovic and Lily May as your damage dealers. The Verdant spell is going to give haste to Ludovic to increase the casting of his HP per second damage, and it will give penetration to Lily May to increase her damage. The main Frester is in front of Smokey to allow him to cast his ultimate enough times to proc his blue aura to deal good damage to the boss, and Illusion in front of Ludovic, Mikola here for the buffs. So we can go ahead and show you the replay of this, but it was really consistently getting over 66 billion damage for me, and the top score was 67 billion, which we'll show you in the replay right now. Okay, so this is going to be a really good team to run, and again, you're going to need magic charms in order to take it to its full potential. But if you're competing with people who do not have Harak built on their account, then this team is going to allow you to compete for the top position amongst those people. And if you don't have Ludovic, for example, if you don't have his charms, or maybe he isn't too highly ascended for you, then I will show you some alternative teams that are also really good without Ludovic. But again, you're going to notice that Frester is a key part. Whether you're running like the Harak team, the non-Harak team, Frester is always a part of the best performing teams for all 8 bosses. And so Frester is essential for you to build first on your account. But you might have also noticed that basically Sonja has replaced Rainier in the best Harak team. And that is a little bit worrying. Or actually, I don't know if worrying is the right word, but it makes you then think, is Harak such a priority for your account? And I'm going to come to that after we go through all of these teams. So here's a good team if you don't have Ludovic at built up, or you don't have his charms. This is good. And this was one of the previous best teams. Main Frester in front of Smokey, Illusion off to the side, Mikola up front, Rainier charms onto Lily May, and Verdant spell for the penetration onto Lily May, and the attack buff from the stats. This got me almost 65 billion damage. It's a really good team. And there's only one other team which might be better than this for you, and it only actually works if you have a +10 exclusive equipment Shakir. So we will show you that after this. But basically, it is replacing Mikola for Shakir. But it only works if you have a +10 exclusive equipment. Otherwise, maybe we need to modify the positioning, and it can work for +15. But I mean, most people who have +15 exclusive equipment Shakir would have Ludovic, and then you might as well just run the Ludovic team. But this is a solid team option. This was once considered the best team option before Harak came out. This was the best team for NECRODRAKON, and before the charms came out for Ludovic, this was the best. But now it has fallen down in like ranking. Okay, so the Shakir team, I'll just show you the formation. If you have a +10 exclusive equipment Shakir, this is going to be the team you want to run. Same formation, but just swapping out Mikola for Shakir. But if you don't have +15, I'm going to show you what happens. Or sorry, if you do have +15, I'm going to show you what happens. Basically, the Shakir casts his ultimate too quickly, and then the boss is able to apply the debuff onto him and get that massive like energy reduction. And so Shakir is not able to maintain his ultimate for long enough in this fight. And then his ultimate wears off, and he's not going to be able to charge up high enough again for the whole fight to cast his ultimate, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because his energy is just pretty much at a standstill right now, is not gaining anything. So if you have the plus 10 exclusive equipment, Shakir, you have a higher uptime because of the timing of everything, and that is actually going to increase your damage. But again, you would need to have the optimal magic charms for Shakir, which are the mystic charms, which give him the skill power in order to increase his attack buff to his allies. So overall, guys, those are the overall teams. Now, as for Rainier, I'll make probably a dedicated video about this. Thanks for watching, guys. That's going to be it for this one. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.